Mr. President, what do you say to your GOP critics who say that you lead a cult?
Wow, that CNN analyst facing backlash over the question to the president as he left the White House yesterday.
GOP Congressman Mark Meadows is fired up about this over the media's treatment of our commander-in-chief, and he joins us now. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us, Congressman.
It's great to be with you. Thanks so much. Great to be here in New Hampshire.
Well, I know. Thank you for being here. So what did you think of that reporter?
Listen, I mean, if that's the best question that a reporter can ask is about a cult, you know, if you talk about cult followings, we've been able to see a little bit of that as they follow around some of the Democrat candidates. But listen, this is all about the president's accomplishments, what he was able to do, what he is still doing, and what he will do in the coming 5 years. So,
What's changed since the impeachment?
You know, I think there's a renewed sense of energy. There's really, not only did the president have the best week that he's had in 3 years with the acquittal in the State of the Union, but the jobs report, everything else, but it's also an understanding that we're going to move forward and that not even impeachment is going to stop this president from accomplishing what he promised on the campaign trail.
What's happening in your life next? Because I know you're retiring.
You know, I'm still here in the fight. You know, I'm just going to be fighting from a different vantage point. I can tell you this, that the president, not only is it here in New Hampshire and Iowa, I was in both of those places, but we're going to continue to work to make sure that the message that Donald Trump is delivering, not just in North Carolina, but across the state, continues to get delivered.
So I got to ask you, we watched Friday when the Vindman twins were marched out.
As they should.
Right.
As they should.
And we also saw that, so we're also seeing reports that the president figured out who, according to one publication, who Anonymous is, the author, and is going to be getting rid of that person. We also don't know who the whistleblower technically is.
Right.
Are you supportive of the president doing this? Because reportedly, according to the New York Times, Ron Johnson, Susan Collins, and some other senators said, Mr. President, don't act like you're getting even with those who had unkind testimony.
This is not about getting even. This is about having a team around you that's willing to support your agenda. Listen, this is the only president who can run on his accomplishments in the first 3 years and still run against his own administration, because part of his administration is trying to defeat the Trump agenda. And so it's important that you have a team. And can you imagine what this president could have accomplished if everyone, they were in the boat, rowing the same way, but we've got people that are trying to turn the canoes over, trying to turn the boats over, and they're within the West Wing. It's not even just in parts of D.C. It's actually at 1600 Pennsylvania.
So this is just the beginning. I guess because Robert O'Brien talks about gutting it down to 150 from 400.
Yeah, I talked to Mr. O'Brien last night, spoke to him, and he's all about making sure that the president has the best support to make sure that we can move this thing forward, and he's right to do so.
Okay. Congressman Meadows, thank you so much for being with us.
No,
from North Carolina, from Pashers and Highlands, the prettiest part.
Thank you.
And he's still on Team Trump.
Places in our country.